Right now, the war involving the United States, Israel, and Iran is doing more than just reshaping military dynamics in the Middle East. It is beginning to challenge one of the core pillars of global finance, the petrodollar system. The petrodollar has helped anchor American economic power for more than 50 years. Since the 1970s, most global oil transactions have been conducted in US dollars. The US-Saudi agreement exchanged American security guarantees for the creation of the petrodollar. And so that forced countries around the world to hold dollars, creating constant demand that strengthened the currency and allowed the United States to borrow cheaply. In return, the United States provided security guarantees to key oil-producing regions, particularly in the Gulf. And so that arrangement has held the system together for decades. It worked really well, but now it is crumbling. And the United States has no one else to blame for it. It is the cause of its own demise. First, Washington weaponized the dollar against its adversaries, forcing them to seek alternative financial settlement platforms, and then it launched the war to benefit a foreign power. Today, Iran is leveraging its geographic position to exert control over global energy markets. This should not have been a surprise to the Trump administration. Iran had warned that if it is attacked and it has to defend itself, the Strait of Hormuz and possibly Bab al-Mandab, I have an entire video on that, both of those choke points will be used to deter and punish the aggressor. Since the conflict began, Tehran has restricted access for certain vessels while allowing limited passage for ships that are connected to oil trades settled in Chinese yuan. This is a subtle but very important development. Some reports indicate that vessels have already paid transit fees in yuan instead of dollars. On the surface, that may seem like a very small change, but it does signal something much larger. If oil, which is the world's most important commodity, begins to move outside the dollar system, even in limited cases, it opens the door to alternative financial structures. This is what analysts are starting to describe as the early stages of a petroyuan system. The fall of the petrodollar and the rise of the petroyuan are no longer a conspiracy theory. Major financial institutions are taking this possibility very seriously. For example, a recent assessment from the Deutsche Bank suggested that the current conflict could mark the beginning of a decline in petrodollar dominance. So the system, after all, depends on the credibility of U.S. security guarantees. And if Washington can no longer fully secure its own military bases in the Persian Gulf, as well as the key shipping routes like the Strait of Hormuz, the foundation of dollar-based oil trade begins to weaken. So hopefully you see the irony here. The United States started this war to benefit Israel, and what it is getting in return is a complete catastrophe, as its aggressive posturing has proven to be just that. There's arguably very little strategic depth to back that. Iran's actions reinforce the concern too. By effectively controlling access to the strait and deciding which ships can actually pass, Tehran has demonstrated how vulnerable global energy flows really are. At the same time, China appears to have prepared for this moment quite well. In the month leading up to the conflict, Beijing significantly increased its oil imports and built up large reserves of crude oil. With roughly 1.2 billion barrels in storage, China now has the flexibility to navigate supply disruptions while at the same time deepening its energy relationship with Iran. On top of that, China's energy imports are very, very diversified, and they are highly diversified exactly for that reason. China cannot afford a major supply chain disruption to affect its manufacturing capabilities. Even as exports from Iran to China have slowed somewhat during the war, they have continued, and often under yuan-based arrangements. This creates a parallel system that bypasses successfully the dollar entirely. Meanwhile, Iran is also attempting to reduce its reliance on the Strait of Hormuz by using its terminal on the Gulf of Oman. This is a slower and less efficient alternative, but what it does do is it represents an effort and an opportunity to build new logistical pathways outside traditional routes. And it also shows that it is possible to transport energy using alternative routes, which in turn decreases the leverage that the United States and its ally have when it comes to threatening Iran. What makes the situation more complex is that despite these underlying shifts that I just described, the US dollar is actually strengthening in the short term. In times of crisis, investors traditionally tend to flock to the dollar as a safe haven asset. Rising oil prices also create global demand for dollars because countries still need them. Countries still need the US dollar to purchase energy. And so what that creates is it creates a paradox. The dollar appears strong on the surface, even as structural challenges begin to emerge underneath and the foundation is cracking. Some of you asked what country is actually most affected by the energy supply disruptions. I've seen several comments on my previous video, so I'm going to respond to that here. What's very interesting is that the economic pressure is not evenly distributed, even though the global oil supply is very much interconnected. Europe is facing significant strain, arguably much worse than what we see here in the United States. And of course, it is due to its inability to access cost-effective Russian energy resources. It cut itself off of Russian energy, and now it is facing a collapse effectively. Now, going back to the dollar system, at the end of the day, global trade is beginning to shift the foundations of dollar dominance, as you can see. Its role as a global reserve currency is transforming. Central banks around the world have been gradually reducing their reliance on the dollar. Its share of global foreign exchange reserves has been declining. It has reached some of the lowest levels in decades, actually. Countries like Brazil have increased their gold holdings while cutting back on dollar-denominated assets. This trend reflects a broader effort to diversify reserves and to reduce exposure to a single dominant currency. The main question right now is this: can the United States restore confidence in its security guarantees and maintain the petrodollar system? Well, arguably, if you've been watching my videos, you already know the answer to the question. The United States cannot efficiently defend its bases in the Middle East, and it cannot force sovereign nations into supporting its economy by relying solely on the US dollar while it bullies them. That's just not how it works. And we can already see the shift away from the US dollar. We can see the shift away from the United States. And countries are actually now realizing that the United States cannot be trusted. So Washington has no one else to blame but itself. The fall of the petrodollar system is the giant step toward the fall of the US hegemony. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate you being here. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And as always, I look forward to seeing you here on my channel tomorrow. Bye for now.